Nothing lasts forever, and sadly, this includes jobs. Now, from athletics to the beautiful, glamorous life of being on the silver screen, there are just some careers that just do not last long. Now, this could be a plus or minus. On the positive side, you get to retire on time. On the downside, you might have to retire before your career even begins. This morning, the ladies and I are going to be diving into the beautiful and stressful world of jobs that just do not last long. Say hello to short-term careers. Good morning.
Good morning.
Kilo Popping. How you doing?
I'm fine.
I'm good. So short-term careers, Adriel, like how would you explain that?
Well, I'd say short-term career is something you start and then it's not going to last you for a lifetime. So short-term.
Okay, Nikki.
Okay. She has put my life out there. Well, I just feel there are majorly jobs or things that you do that do not have a long lifespan in terms of earning, in terms of sustainability, in terms of viability. So if you're doing something right now and in the next 5 years, even in the next 3 years, you don't see yourself still doing that job is pretty short term, and then there are a lot of short term jobs. And I'm sure a lot of people do not even know that what they are doing currently is a short term.
Are you sure they don't know?
People do not know.
Like, do they do like research beforehand and know that this is where you're going to end up?
Just jump in.
Like probably when I was like, would think I maybe when I grew up I want to be an actor or an actress or something. I think we do it forever.
Has there been any long-term jobs that you guys have had before, short-term jobs that you've had before you came on to the winning side? Have you ever had a career that you thought you were going to be specialized in and then you switched for, it was short-term at the time?
Yeah, I think for me, I once worked as a secretary, so it wasn't a long-term thing for me. It was just something I wanted to experience.
Oh, those are called dead-end jobs.
Yeah.
They're actually called dead-end jobs.
So it's short-term, so it falls under short-term, so it wasn't something that I was going to do for the rest of my life.
Like, have you?
No, not really. I've done, let me think about it, because, when you bring these questions, you really don't know the things you've done sometimes. It just takes you back.
People say they don't know the things they've done. Usually mean illegal things.
No, I don't.
She doesn't mean illegal things.
I do mean illegal things. Okay, nothing really like the way I see short-term, long-term jobs. No.
Okay, so let's just get into the conversation. Now, while we're getting ready for this, I saw a very interesting train of thoughts. Now, the train of thoughts was basically saying that if you ever find yourself in a space where you have a career that could be short-term, it is not advisable to pursue. Now, examples that we're giving of short-term jobs, if you guys do not know this, a life in movies, to be an actress. As much as we love the Sylvester Stallones of the world, according to Adriel, and the Angelina Jolies of the world, there are a lot of people that their careers had to end, the Courtney Cox of the world, and other people that acted in sitcoms that we knew, or the ones that never ever even got a big role. Now we've been made to understand that Tiana Taylor, Empire Cookie, what's her name? Taraji P. Henson got her very first big role when she was almost 40 or even over 40. And there are a lot of people that never got the big role and then they just died off and then they were too young to work in the industry. There's modeling. There's this very big one that everybody tries to do that, I argue about sometimes, dancing. And then there's athletics. You were a dancer. You have no right to laugh here.
I don't know.
Anyways, and then there's athletics. Basically, these are gigs that you kind of need to be young to excel in the industry.
Okay.
So knowing that a person has passion for these gigs and you're like a family member, are you of the school of thought that you should advise them to not pursue it?
They should.
They should. Okay.
They should pursue it. It's what they love to do. But I think you should have a picture of what the future could look like. Because, like you said, these are things that the money in it, the fame, the influence, the platform is what a lot of people look out for when they're pursuing this career. So they don't really look at the longevity. They don't look at the lifespan and say, will I act forever? Taking, for instance, modeling. you know, modeling too is one of the careers that you would not do for a very long time, and you ask yourself, will I do this for a very long time, etc. Like just was saying, Naomi Campbell. And so it's a whole lot. So people just go in and feel like they could wing it, and let's see where it takes me to. Let me see the next phase it will take me to, and they don't envisage that at the age of probably 29, 30, I would not be, you know, be fitting into certain roles if I'm pursuing this career path. So it's a lot. So if you say you want to be an actor and an actress, you need to ask yourself, in the next 5 years, will I be acting? In the next 10 years, will I be acting and the like? So.
Adrian, I'm looking at you because you were a dancer before now. And then you wanted to be an actress too. So yeah. How did that work out for you? Why did you decide that, you know, I'm going to talk on the TV instead of dancing behind fouls?
Passion.
Okay.
And I just found something that I felt I could stay with. But do you want to pursue a career? Because I have friends who are still doing things related to dancing. But I think the question most times that people don't ask themselves is that, do they want to keep, what do you want in the long run from this? Now you're driven by passion, you're driven by so much emotion. This is what I love, I'm happy doing it. So, but the question at the end that you need to ask yourself is, in the long run, where would this lead me to? So what are the plans I'm making? Do I want to become a dance instructor just immediately after I've started dancing? Do I want to open an academy? You have to have a plan. So if you're saying, I want to stay in dance for the rest of my life, then you have to get laid out plans, because most of the people I know that are still dancing are doing other things to make sure that they have a life, even if they're still pursuing their dance career. So even if it's modeling, whatever it is, especially when it comes to this short-term career, because sometimes when you're talking to these people and telling them, okay, what are the plans, what other things can you add to this, they don't think about it in long term. All they just say is that I'm passionate, I believe that's going to happen, you know, they begin to aspire and then all that and motivate themselves, and it looks like you are the bad person trying to help them see that in the long run, times will come where you will not even feel like dancing or wanting to do this thing. So what do you do at that time? So it's how you have built yourself, what the things that you have put around yourself to make sure that you are growing. And then you say, okay, I can do this, I can do this. So if dance doesn't work, I can fall into this, I have a friend, she's a dancer, she does photography, she's a gym instructor, she does Pilates, she does a whole lot of things. So it's not just the dance. So she has multiple sources of income, that she's not just focusing on just the dance alone. So if you want to focus on a particular career that you know is short term, you have to bring in other plans to make sure you have to be sustained, so that you can be sustained for life.
What about people that just can't do multiple things, and then people that can't do dance forever? Because as much as it looks cute to do some careers forever, the reasons why those jobs are short term is that the industry requires some things. For example, dance is kind of like a sport. You have to be fit, you have to be flexible.
When
you get older, you really can't bend as much.
Yes.
If you're a football player, when you get to your 30s, you're not in form as much, and then when you're going to your late 30s, you know that you have to hang your boots. But let's just say that these people are not people that can diversify. What do you do, Neki?
I think this is why we have this kind of conversation, because before we came on camera, we were talking about it, and we were like, okay, fine, if you see you want to pursue this career path, you know that it will not even last forever. Long-term jobs don't even last forever, not to talk of short-term jobs. So what you could do is that you could start making plans. Like Ejiro said, it is key. If you're a quarterback, for instance, in American football, you would not play football for a very long time. And as such, a lot of them like to have education, have a job, have a skill, you know, something that they love to do. I feel human beings have been created in a way that we are multiple potential. We're multiple potential. So you don't just have one thing and say, this is the one thing that I will do for the rest of my life. You have many things that you could do. I'm sure a lot of us have many things. So that's why we see human beings, we diversify. And we try to test waters in this and test waters in that. I'm sure a lot of them, if they're that, because it's a creative industry. And so there's that sound that they know that they can diversify and put creativity into business, into building my skills, into something that will sustain them from where they stopped. So if probably you're a dancer, you're a good dancer, you've gotten that platform and you're well known, you could maximize it, you could monetize it, you could become a judge, a facilitator. There are things that will keep bringing you. Could become an influencer, a brand ambassador. You know, it's just for you to know what you could do with this short-term career job. And you know, you just correct yourself. For instance, talking about people that dance as video vixens no shades, but it's not a long-term job. You understand? It's not something you will do for a very long time. So you maximize the fact that people know your face. People know that, oh, I've seen this girl in this video. I've seen this boy in this video. You could maximize it and find ways to monetize. There are many ways you could make money. There are many ways you could survive outside your short-term job. It's just that a lot of people are just beclouded with the whole, my glory, I'm known here. I can't live here. How will I survive?
I must shine my shine.
They don't think of life outside that career, outside that space.
But also look at it from this angle. Now we're in a time when careers are abound. There's so many things that you can actually do in this day. You know, like yesterday, or was it 2 days ago, we spoke about the 4 careers: doctor, engineer, lawyer, and disgrace to the family. Now the bucket of disgrace to the family is so big. Now we have AI people under disgrace to the family. We have rappers, we have singers, we have actors. You know, we have digital marketers. You know, it keeps going and on. The disgrace bucket is so full and so big. But we've been told that you can do so much with your life. We have more people going for modeling because Naomi Campbell and Giselle Bunchen are there for them to look out. We have Nigerian dancers looking at Kathy and saying, if Kathy can do it, so can I. But then we know that the space of people that can actually make it is 1 out of 100. But the industry doesn't warn you beforehand. Do you think that the industry, of the times that we are in now, that is so diversified, for a career to come out of every little thing, do you think that they're selling pipe dreams? Are people being deceived?
No, I don't feel sure. I don't feel people are being. I think people are not aware of what the industry entails. People are not prepared for what the industry will bring to you, because trust me, the industries, they are not nice. They are not going to play nice. They are not going to play fair. You understand? There are people that are even better actors that we know, but we will never catch them having the big roles. Never. Do you understand? There are people that, you know, they are the best at what they do, but you will never see them at the top of the ladder, because the industry is not fair. And so if right now you're in the industry, or you're planning to be in the industry, you should understand the rules, understand how it plays. It's not a pipe dream thing. It's just for you to know that do what you have to do and get out. Don't go there and now become stale and become, you start lamenting and say the industry folks did not help me. Nobody is going to help you. That's the truth. Every day now and then we hear artists come out and say people are not nice to each other. There's no brother keeper.
A young man just killed himself for not being able to survive in the industry.
So it's a whole lot. So you just do what you have to do and get out, because there's always some sense of toxicity that comes with the industry. So you just need to know what you want.
If you want to jump in,
so I want to say that you know sometimes when we think about short-term jobs and long-term jobs, we find out that even people who get jobs for life eventually retire, and they get to a point when they really don't even do anything. So if those people who feel they have long-term jobs can make plans for when, you know, the whole working system can stop, I don't see a reason why you feel deceived that, you know, the opportunities are not being placed out there for you. You should be able to step out and say, okay, I want to do this thing. But because what we don't do many times is we don't plan, we don't see the long run, we don't see pictures ahead, we don't ask ourselves, okay, so will I be able to continue doing this thing after 5 years? Okay, if it's 10 years, if it's 20 years, you know, but what's the plan after 20 years? If I'm not going to be doing this again, what am I going to do? You have to set things in place for yourself, because nobody's going to help you get to the next level. There are very few times if you have not put yourself out there.
Sorry to interject. I mean, you guys kept saying nobody's going to help you. There are a lot of people that are where they are because somebody helped them. Primarily because somebody helped them. Primarily because we're related to this guy. Primarily because Davido liked their songs, so Davido has now signed them for only reasons best known to Davido. You know, it keeps going on. I think people excel because somebody has helped them. And then they have stories like, they have people like the Taraji P. Hensons of the world saying that don't give up. I read a book by Yvonne Orji. She's a stand-up comedian, a New York Times bestseller, and an actress. Now, at some point in her life, she had just $4 as a home and abroad, international accounts, Obodo Ibo accounts, and everything, right? And so she has a podcast called Jesus and Jollof, and I think she even wrote a book. So people are seeing this kind of information out there, and they're feeling like, you know, if this guy I'm looking at right now is not going to help me, the person that helped Yvonne Orji, there's like 4 other guys like him. So, I mean, are these stories being told, these success stories being told, are they told to deceive these people or to encourage these people?
encourage them. And I'm going to come in and say that when I say that you have to be doing something for someone to find you.
You're doing something. That's
Do you
the thing.
understand?
The
Okay,
rappers are
I'm
posting on
saying that
SoundCloud.
you have to be doing something to be found. That means if you don't put yourself out there, if you don't say, when I say make plans that people are not going to help you, I'm saying that if you're not doing anything about your present career or pushing yourself out there, nobody's going to come and help you. It's not going to jump on your lap. You're not going to suddenly say, hey, I want to help him because he just looks pretty. Do you understand? You have to be doing something actively. They have to see that you're actually putting yourself out there. It is the person who keeps putting himself out there that someone say, oh, I like the way this person sounds.